Hi everyone, it's Burgess. Welcome to another video. And I thought in today's video we'd paint some waterfront houses in Europe with a windmill. And I thought we could use a line and wash technique today. I've already drawn it in pencil, and I think it's a good idea to do that. And what we're going to do now is go over it in pen, rub the pencil marks out, and then go in with some watercolor washes. So without further ado, let's get started. So let's start with the pen work, and for this one I'm going to start off using a grey one, a dark grey one, and this is a waterproof and fade proof Unipin fine liner. And I'm going to start from the back ones, only because they're lighter. Don't be so precise and just start putting the lines in. Now again, I would advise that if you're doing a line and wash, and you start off with the pen and not with a pencil drawing, that I would start from the front to back. That means draw the boat in first in your pen or even your pencil, and then start putting all the other elements behind it. It would save you a lot of problems. Rubbing things out. Save you from rubbing things out actually. This is a tree here, so let's just put some line work, some marks in for that. I'm going to switch to the black one at some point. I just want to put some line work for the houses in the back. What I'm going to do now is to speed this part up so that you don't get bored, because you know what I'm doing here. So let's just speed it up and just sit back and relax and sort of watch it. Yeah, so what I'm doing here is because it's indistinct. I'm just putting some random lines in the back to indicate that something's going on, but I don't know what. And now I'm going to switch to my darker one, although I think they both look the same, to be honest. Yeah, they both look almost the same. This one is a bit darker. Okay. Yeah, I had to switch the pens because that one just ran out. Yeah, this one is a lot darker. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the camera off, and when I've done, you can see what the final outcome is. But you'll see that what I will be doing is just trying to cover all the pencil lines with the pen, and then rubbing them out. And that's really the simple way to do this. So let me just turn the camera off, and we'll come back when this is done. Okay, I'm ready for the washes, and one thing I should tell you, that I didn't rub out anything. I decided at the end that wasn't really necessary, and they might add character to the painting. So we need to wet down the sky, and I'm going to try and avoid parts of this parts of the roof. So what I need to do is take another brush out that gives me a little bit more control over where the washes are going, and for this I'm going to use a large round. So we're going to go in using the hate brush, start off with the ultramarine blue, and we're going to put it all the way across the top there. Now the key to making sure that you don't turn things green is to make sure that you don't mix colors that turn green, like yellow. So now what we're going to do is turn to orange. I want to add crimson, some of it too. I'm going to switch brushes here. I want to add yellow. And then some purple. It's going over, but I don't mind because it's all going to be dark anyway. Yes, I'm sorry, the light has changed in the room, and that's a little bit frustrating. So I'm going to switch back to my paintbrush. I'm going to add a bit of Payne's grey to it as well. Okay, it's a funny sky, but never mind. We're going to dry this off now. Sorry, I forgot to put the camera on. Payne's grey with burnt sienna with more Payne's grey, and even more Payne's grey. Sorry, though, I forgot to put the camera on. The lighting here as well, so yeah. So now it's just a question of just like colouring in, really. Just I suppose, the fun part. You just not really. It's like children's colouring book. The bottom one, we're going to use burnt sienna, and for that I'm going to add black to it. I mean, I'm not following the picture on the internet precisely. Here we've sort of obscured it, but we can always bring it back. You don't have to stick. It's not like, I mean, okay, yes, it is like colouring in, but you don't have to stick to staying within the lines, as it is a line and wash, and the whole idea is just the lines are just a guide, really. Okay, and now all the other colours are just going to be sort of random, but quite a lot of burnt sienna is going to be used, because there are a lot of roofs in these European countries on the waterfront that are sort of fairly burnt sienna-y colour. Okay, this one's going to be a light burnt sienna in the back there. Let's just put that in. This one, we're just going to make it maybe the same sort of colour as this one. Take some pure burnt sienna, add a lot of black to it, paint in a bit more black I think we need there. The actual house itself, I want it. Otherwise I'm going to make a little bit more colourful. Be going with the brights, oranges. And the house in the back, I want maybe orange. We can go over the windows because they've already been painted, so we're not bothered about them being covered up, because they're not going to get covered up. Let's make the back roof, this one, a little bit more umber, and make that. Chimney pots as well, make them raw umber too. And it's a Prussian blue. That's the excitement, where you can just use any colors you like. I have Viridian here. And I want to take that and put it on this. Make this Indian red. This is Indian red. And again, we can go in with some burnt sienna and put it on the roof here. I've got crimson, and I want to add it to maybe one of the houses in the front. I've added a bit of Payne's grey to this, just to mute it a bit. It was just too strong then. We'll make this roof Payne's grey with some burnt sienna added. Around the windows, I'm going to add Van Dyke brown. On top of the roof too. To make that stand out, this other one. Dilute it and put it in the center here. You know, I've got to darken this. I will put the pen work in later. This should have been, that should be dark. And I'm going to take a darker version of this Russian blue. Those houses in the distance, I'm just going to use Payne's grey. The whole thing, and then just add a bit more Payne's grey, I think, because they're in the distance there. Some stuff going on, I don't know what. A darker Payne's grey. Umber on the ground here and along here. Painting the roof with burnt sienna. I've noticed that I've left a few things out in terms of the line work. But we can always put them back in once we notice them. And this one's going to be darker, so we have the same and add black to it because I want it to come forward. This is burnt sienna. Make this burnt sienna too, because I want the house to stand out. Let's go back in with a bit more. And this house on the right, I'm going to also make Viridian. You notice that there's some foliage here. Just add some burnt sienna to that. Okay, now I'm just going to do the boats. I don't want to overdo the houses, so I'm going to do the boat. Now the boat is going to be burnt sienna. Add some orange interest to it. What that is, it's just something. And add black, the burnt sienna for the inside of the boat. This boat is going to be all black, yeah, or grey rather. The inside, we'll darken that a bit in a minute, and then we're going to let's darken it now. Go back in with raw umber. Some of these street areas, well, the front of the promenade or whatever it is called. Very strong and light brown. Well, not that strong, but stronger than the burnt raw umber anyway. want to paint the water, so let's just wet the water area. I'm going to start with a dark color, so let's go with Van Dyke brown and maybe black, add black to it as well. So I want a very dark shadow, dark reflection. Let's go in with orange. Some yellow. Purple. Now we're going to go back in with the black and the Van Dyke brown. Changing it to a smaller brush. Whilst it's still wet, I hope it's still wet. I want to darken the reflection under the boat a bit more. Noticed that I hadn't just turned the paper around and just put the here and on this one. And one more thing I want to add are there's some masts on this boat, and what I'm going to do is try and add them with this, and I'm going to try and do a quick straight line going up. Now I don't know whether this is going to work, but let's try it. There, and maybe one over here. And by doing that, I've gone over something. I want to move it again. Yeah, that wasn't intended. Okay, here's our picture of a waterfront somewhere in Europe, and the picture reference comes from Pixabay. but I've actually changed it up. And you please use whatever colors you want. I know the sky is not it's not what I wanted. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. And please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks very much for watching.